Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into some ancient philosophy to tackle a huge question for any leader, one that feels more relevant than ever. So let's just jump right in with the question that every single leader, whether you're an ancient emperor or a modern-day CEO, has to face. What's the true source of your power? Where does it really come from? Is it all about the ability to punish people, to command them through fear? Or is there something deeper, something more powerful at play? Well, an ancient philosopher, Confucius, he had a pretty clear and kind of surprising answer to that. All right, let's first look at the most common way to do things, right? The default setting for leadership then and now, ruling by the book. Strict laws and the threat of punishment if you step out of line. Confucius looked at this and saw a big problem. He said, look, if you build a state just on punishments, you don't get a virtuous society. You get a society that's good at not getting caught. People will follow the rules, yeah, but only because they're scared. Their own internal sense of right and wrong, it never really gets a chance to develop. And he argued that this kind of foundation, one built on fear, is just, it's brittle. It's fundamentally unstable. Why? Because it doesn't build a real conscience in people. The second the ruler looks away, the second that threat is gone, the whole thing can just fall apart. So, seeing this major weakness, Confucius came up with a pretty radical alternative. What if, he thought, a government wasn't built on force at all? What if it was built on the leader's own moral character? And this is the key. The whole game shifts from outside threats to inside motivation. Instead of just being afraid of what might happen to them, people start to develop a sense of shame, of honor. And that's what guides them to do the right thing, even when no one's looking. I love this metaphor of the North Star. It's so powerful. What he's saying is that real leadership isn't about pushing people around. It's an attractive force. A truly good leader is like that fixed point in the sky, and everyone else just naturally, willingly orients themselves around them. No force required. This really gets to the heart of governing by moral force. Think about it. The ruler's personal character becomes the most powerful tool they have. It's the ultimate policy. If a leader says one thing but does another, their orders mean nothing. But if they lead by example, they almost don't even need to give orders. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how does a ruler actually do this? Confucius was clear, it's not just about, being a good person. There's a whole system to it. It all kicks off with this idea he called the Rectification of Names. Now that sounds super academic, I know, but the idea behind it is incredibly simple and powerful. Your words have to match reality. If you're called a doctor, you need to act like a doctor. If you're a teacher, act like a teacher. Your title and your actions have to line up. So apply that to the top. When a ruler truly acts like a ruler, with all the wisdom and integrity that implies, it sets off a chain reaction. Ministers start acting like ministers, fathers like fathers, sons like sons. Everyone knows their role and fulfills it, and the result is this natural, harmonious order. And to make this whole political idea really hit home, Confucius used a model everyone understands, the family. He basically said, look, the state is just the family, but bigger. The exact same things that make a family strong, respect, duty, caring for each other, are what make a state strong. And it all starts at the root with something he called a xiao, which is basically respect and care for your parents. That virtue, learned right there in the home, naturally grows outward, first to your community and then to the entire state. The whole nation becomes like one big, healthy family, held together by respect, not by fear. All right, so after all that, what's the big takeaway from this ancient wisdom? Let's boil it all down to the absolute core of what Confucian leadership is all about. At the end of the day, it's really a timeless guide to leadership. It's all about choosing influence over intimidation and integrity over just raw power. The big lesson here is that your personal behavior isn't some separate thing from your job as a leader. Your character is your leadership. And that leaves us with a final question to chew on. In our world today, which can be so fast and confrontational, is this 2,500-year-old idea, is it just a naive dream? Or could it actually be the most practical, most sustainable way to lead? Something to think about.